Welcome back, Outcast, to another Wednesday Season 2 video. Now this is going to be part 2 since it's finally released. Again, sorry guys that review took this long to make. I really am trying to take pride in making these reviews as good as possible. So let's get started and let me know what you guys think about it. And be a true Outcast by smashing that like button and subscribing. Because this season just felt like everything fans had hoped for and more. We got some shocking revelations, some heartbreaking sacrifice, a Freaky Friday styled curse, the return of the Nightshades, and even a jaw-dropping reveal about the thing's true origins. But not just that, a surprising ending, because today I'll be breaking down everything that happened in part 2, reviewing the season's biggest moments, and we're gonna look ahead to see what all this means for season 3. So we start with Wednesday in the hospital, waking up with none other than Principal Weems. Now, Goody Addams is gone after sacrificing her spiritual guidance to save Wednesday's life. So this leaves Wednesday without a spirit guide, so Miss Weems steps up as Wednesday's new spirit guide. The shocking part is that Weems' bloodline is secretly connected to the Addams family, so technically she is Principal Addams if we decide to give her that name. What? She would go on explaining how she was able to take Goody's place. This should immediately raise questions about the legacy, the destiny, and just how deep the Addams roots run at Nevermore. Meanwhile, there is an ongoing manhunt for Uncle Fester, Slurp, and Tyler Gaplin after a breakout at Willow Hill. Judy Stonehurst works to cover up everything, even hiring mercenaries to erase any evidence that could trace back to her. Now, this is literally straight up mafia boss vibes, but as Tyler tries to stay hidden, he dispatches the mercenary with ease while leaving a nice little snack for Slurp later on. He finds Wednesday in the hospital and gives her a little smirk, giving her that warning that their fight isn't over yet, reminding us just how dangerous he is without a master and is slowly losing control of his Hyde form. He just looks very sickly. But talking about Slurp, he is slowly but surely gaining more of his sentience, gaining more of his brain, being able to talk and much more throughout the show. We even get him sneak attacking Judy Hurst, and we find out that she is no longer with us in body, I guess, and maybe in spiritual form later on in the episode. Now, as things start to heat up, this season leads to more emotional conflicts between Wednesday and Enid. Wednesday keeps her best friend out of the loop, which tends to really hurt Wednesday. Again, this is all about her trying to keep Enid safe to try to save her life, but as always, it backfires, as together they should be stronger, but Wednesday, as we know, is a lone wolf, which is funny because so is her friend. Enid is still a target. Tyler continues to hunt her. The two clash over how to handle this situation. Enid wants to join the fight and fight together, while Wednesday insists on fighting alone. It's a key theme of the season's trust versus independence. This would push their friendship eventually into a breaking point as the episodes go on. While with Enid partially reviving the Nightshades, as Enid was naturally supposed to be a Nightshade, things start heating up. Enid's powers kind of get pushed into the limelight as she is considered to be an alpha, as she can transform without a full moon. We also find out that Principal Capri is a werewolf herself. Now, she warns the young alpha must be monitored during these growth spurts, because if she cannot control it, bad things will happen, or she may not be able to revert back to her human form. Now, this all can happen during a full moon. If she turns into a werewolf and she's an alpha, she may not be able to turn back into her human form. Now, as a precaution, Enid is supposed to be in the Lupin cages until she gains a mastery of her powers. We learned that in Nevermore there are things called Lupin cages. They are used to help young Lupins like Enid and her pack to keep calm and gain an understanding of their abilities. Now, this underlines the season's theme: power without discipline is a curse. Now, before moving to the next part, we are told that there is a Lupin police force that will hunt down and kill any alpha who cannot revert back to their natural state. Now, this does look really bad for Enid later on in season 3, as we will possibly get a view on how the policing force behaves and how they're gonna handle Enid. Now, let's talk about Principal Dort. From the start, he just felt off to me, and in part 2 we learn why Dort is the opposite of Weems. Their ideologies could not be any more different. While Weems wanted to preserve and protect Nevermore's legacy, Dort actively works to erase it and erase her from Nevermore history. Then we finally get the reveal that he is tied to the Morning Song cult. Now, this is the same group that Bianca Barclay's mother was a part of. Dortz manipulated donors, burns allies, and uses siren influence to push Nevermore into his twisted vision. Now, in the show, we see him burning his cohort or even his partner alive because he is very greedy and he wanted to keep the money for himself, even having Bianca Siren's song Mrs. Frump. Now, his betrayal at the gala and a fury downfall cements him as one of the season's most chillin' villains, but I felt that from the beginning of seeing him, like, oh yeah, he's not gonna stay here for that long. Like I mentioned earlier, Tyler kills the mercenary that's hunting him. Tyler becomes more unstable by the day, as we learned that Hydes without a master eventually perish. Principal Capri gives us a critical Hyde backstory here, explaining how dangerous and tragic their bonds can be. We are given one of the biggest twists as Patient 1938 is not Ophelia Addams like many have theorized, but really is Francois Gaplin, Tyler's mother. Now Miss Capri and Francois Gaplin have a history together because they were in a deadly love triangle that eventually caused Francois' master's death, since Francois was also in love with her master. Now, we also are told that a female Hyde, they are not only more powerful, females can live longer compared to males. Her reunion with Tyler shifts the entire Hyde storyline, showing us that their bonds could either save or doom them both. We discover that after she lost her master, her and her brother Isaac, that is Slurp, we find out later in the episode, were trying to get rid of her powers. But everything went wrong when Isaac almost killed Gomez. Now I'm gonna say it, I'm sure we all agree, Morticia has shined this season. Now, obviously this is Wednesday's show, so she's gonna shine regardless, but sometimes you need help. Now, Morticia, with her dove powers, allowed her to sense Principal Weem's spiritual pressure. You know what, talking about spiritual pressure thing makes me think of Bleach. Let me know in the comments if anybody loves Bleach, because that's all I get from this whenever I think about it. Even before she can see Principal Weems, these are powerful moments that show Morticia's strength and highlights Wednesday's growing disconnection from her own psychic gifts. I can say that she has been an anchor and an angel in Gothic's clothing when it comes to saving her family. Now, we can all see that her love and her care of her family and her connection that she tries to keep is what makes her strong. Now we get to the Nightshades again, as they have been brought back since last season. They are revived by Enid, because if they weren't disbanded by the school, Enid was supposed to be an honorary member that was going to be invited to the Nightshades. This forced Wednesdays to work alongside them to go against Tyler. Now, as Wednesday would create a plan to become Tyler's master by using this serum created by Dr. Stonehurst himself, things tend to never go as planned, because before she can even use said serum, Francois comes in and saves Tyler with the help of Morticia. Now, when it comes to the Nightshade, it's a perfect callback to season 1's themes of found family and turning points for Enid, who steps into a real leadership role. Now, she's finally growing up and being the alpha that she needs to be. It's always good to see Enid take initiative, is it not? Then it comes down to the Freaky Friday moment. So Enid and Wednesday are body swapped. Wednesday tries to regain her powers at Rosalind Rotwood's grave. Now, Rosalind Rotwood is one of the most powerful. Now, Rosalind Rotwood is said to be one of the most powerful ravens ever known, as she is very talented and was well renowned for her abilities. But anyone that tries to go with her grave and reads the encryption, if they cannot pass the test, will be given a curse. Now, Enid interrupts this test, triggering said curse. The two swap bodies, and the only way to reverse it is to unravel the life of the person they've become. Enid tastes what it's like to be Wednesday from the pressures of being an Addams, as well as Wednesday's reaction to colors was very funny, it was very amusing to watch, it was hilarious in my opinion. But it also forces Wednesday to experience Enid's struggle firsthand. Now, this highlights the mental health, the empathy, and the importance of friendship itself. I do wish that we could have gotten something in the lines of her struggling to handle Enid's Lupin powers or abilities, but it never came to life. Because if you're gonna be inside the body of Enid, I would assume that there's other struggles that they have to deal with, especially like learning how to use like their abilities without transforming. So I felt like it was downplayed until later on when we compare her turning into a full-on alpha, trying to, break the door open. But again, in my opinion, if you think otherwise, leave a comment down below. Now, the swap wasn't just like a funny gimmick. It recalibrates their empathy and understanding of one another, strengthening their bond. Now we finally get a little bit of Agnes, and we get a touching development upon her. Now we find out that she struggles with feeling invisible, which is funny because that's her ability. That's what she does. Now through her connection with Enid and the Thing, she gains a level of confidence to begin to find a place for herself in the group, forming the new trio of Wednesday, Enid, and herself. Now once she accepts herself and learns not to care what other people think or care about what people see or don't see, she's even given respect for Wednesday for finally being her true self and not just trying to be an imitation of Wednesday. Thing finally takes the center stage as we are given his backstory of whose body he came from. The Thing is feeling like he's not whole during this time, but merely as a part of a body, but we quickly get to see the Thing in a meeting with his peers and other body parts that felt the same way. Now this also includes Agnes after a dispute with Enid, making her feel lesser than what she is because again she was trying to find herself and she just didn't know where she fit in. Later on, Thing learns he was once bound to Isaac until he was severed from him and reanimated to a living hand. He breaks free in a brutal fashion when Isaac reattaches him back to his body, but through sheer will and accepting that he is his own hand or person, because he is a sentient hand now, he starts ripping out Isaac's heart in the most shocking moment of the season. So as this is going on, we get to reveal that the Thing's name was actually an anagram for night. It was a dark and nice symbolic tie back to Isaac and Addams' looming dark history and prophecy. By the finale, the show points heavily towards Bugsley still being the Addams that's destined to die, as well as Gomez's stolen powers are revealed. Yes, Gomez, even though he was always been considered an outcast, we are shown that he was just like Bugsley. He had the ability to control and harness electricity like his brother. Now, his ability was drained and stripped when he was tricked by Isaac as a conduit to use as a power source that would have eventually killed Gomez if it wasn't for the intervention of his love, Morticia. Chopped Isaac's hand and put a stop to the machine that was supposed to remove Francois' abilities. Now, although the Addams family has survived all these ordeals, a new threat is coming. We find out that Aunt Ophelia was with Miss Frump the whole time, and she leaves a very chilling message that Wednesday must die. Now this could set the stage for high stakes on season 3, carrying layers of literal and symbolic meaning. On the surface, it can indicate a direct threat from the enemy, such as positioning Wednesday in a mortal danger, yet the message also resonates metaphorically. It may signal the necessary death of Wednesday's current self, her isolation, her rigid independence, and detachment from others to allow her transformation into a more connected, powerful outcast capable of leading and protecting her friends and family. This duality aligns with the season's theme of prophecy, sacrifice, and power, hinting that while Wednesday may survive physically, she will face trials that force her to confront her vulnerabilities, reunite with her allies like Enid, who went full alpha after trying to save Wednesday's life after she was buried by Isaac to prevent her from doing any more damage as they are trying to remove Francois' ability, which was a lie because they were trying to remove Tyler's ability, and a whole mess has happened at that moment. Now Enid is stuck in her alpha form and out there alone without anyone to help her. Ophelia's warning therefore promises not just danger, but a narrative crucible that would redefine Wednesday's identity and shape the perilous path of the Addams family in the next season. Now they're going their separate ways. Wednesday is going with Uncle Fester to hunt down and save Enid to prevent the policing wolf force from killing her. On the other hand, we have Ophelia saying that Wednesday must die. It's not a prophecy, it's just that it's more of a warning. But I do know that part 2 was packed with a lot of things. Weems returned as a spirit guide, Tyler's spirals, Francois revealed, the Freaky Friday curse, hidden Addams family lies and scandals, the Nightshades revival, Thing and Isaac's showdown, Principal Dart and the Morning Sun called deepened Nevermore's lore. This show gave us one of the darkest and most brutal twists so far, and I look forward to seeing what happens for season 3 since it has been confirmed. So there's going to be so many things I want to talk about in future videos because we have finally reached the end of this one, and if you made it this far, thank you so much, and show that true outcast pride by smashing that like button, leaving a comment down below with your thoughts on this video and what you think is going to be happening on season 3, and subscribe so you never miss a video like this again. Later.